Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at another version of Kylo Ren from the Disney Store. In my last review I gave you a look at the Elite Series diecast version of Kylo Unmasked, and in today's review we're going to take a look at the 14-inch talking Kylo Ren action figure, which is absolutely awesome. Before I jump into this review, I do want to give a massive thanks and a shout out to the team at the Disney Store and the Walt Disney Company, who were more than kind enough to supply this figure for a review. They did send this one out just before Christmas, so I do apologise guys that it's taken all of this time to get to it, but rest assured the review is here and I really can't wait to give you a look at this guy in more detail. It's a stunning figure, a really cool toy, and just a fantastic product all round. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of this character and of this figure, we are of course going to take a look at the packaging that he comes in. Now once again, if you saw my review on the 14-inch talking Stormtrooper figure, which should appear on screen as I mention it, feel free to click the link that you see on screen to check out that review. The packaging on this one is very, very nice. I love the red and black colour scheme. As you can see, looks really, really nice. Down in the bottom, you've got the Star Wars logo and an image of Kylo Ren himself. You can see there, real movie sounds, movie phrases. On the side again, some very cool artwork of Kylo Ren, and then on the back an image of the figure with some of the features that he has. So very, very cool packaging for this one. Again, like with most of the Disney Store products, this thing is absolutely fantastic value for money. This guy retails for $20.95 here in the UK, which is even cheaper than a black Series 6-inch figure from Hasbro. So when you consider the fact that these guys are 14 inches tall, packed to the brim with lights and sounds, and are just really cool toys, you know, the value for money aspect is absolutely mind-blowing, and I'm a huge fan of this line and can't wait to see more additions to it. I'm really crossing my fingers for a talking Captain Phasma to come very soon. So moving on to the figure itself, here he is. Again, absolutely stunning toy. With the exception of the lights and sounds, of course, just the sculpt and overall look of this one is enough to want to buy it. It looks superb and it's a great action figure. So as you can see, if we take a look at all the detail, you will notice some similarities in the sculpt to the Elite Series Kylo Ren figure. And I do believe that these figures are based on the same digital prints or digital models, you know, the same print or model is used for each character in each figure, obviously just upscaled and brought to life in different forms. Articulation on this guy is slightly limited as opposed to your usual action figures, but that's obviously to accommodate some of the lights and sounds that this guy has, so we'll get onto some of those in just a moment. Articulation wise, this guy does feature a ball joint in the head. On the right hand side he just has a swivel at the shoulder. He also has a slight swivel in the right elbow and no articulation in the right wrist, obviously because the wires and circuits for the electronics will run through this arm and into the lightsaber. On the left hand side we do have a hinge at the elbow, hinges at the, oh sorry, getting my body parts mixed up, hinges at the shoulder, hinges at the elbows and a swivel at the wrist. Again, you've got that really cool sort of force using hand sculpt, which looks really, really cool, almost as though he's using the force on someone, or, you know, torturing Poe Dameron or Rey as seen in the film. He also has a swivel at the waist, hinges at the hips, hinges at the knees and hinges at the ankles. All the joints are really nice and tight on this figure and he stands up really, really well, and again you can get some decent poses out of him and he just looks fantastic. Really, really impressed with this figure overall. Now obviously he does come complete with lights and sounds, and these are located in the lightsaber, and obviously we have a few phrases with this one as well. Now to activate the lights and sounds there is a switch hiding underneath Kylo Ren's cape, and we get a few different modes with this figure. We have on, off and try me, so we'll stick him in try me mode first, as this does offer a slight variation on the lightsaber sound. So we'll take a look at this feature first. Now to activate the sounds in the lightsaber, there is a button on Kylo Ren's bicep, which you just press. to activate the sounds. So let's take a look. So as you can see, in Try Me mode we get this sort of battle action sound effect with flashing lights in the blade, some clashing sounds of the lightsaber. Really cool sound effects indeed. Just give you one more look at that before we move on to the phrases. Very cool indeed, and I've got to say, whoever came up with the sound effect for Kylo Ren's lightsaber in the film, top job. Really cool sound effects indeed. While we still have the figure in Try Me mode, this does allow you to sample some of the phrases that the figure says, and to activate those there is a button just on the chest and the speaker is located just below that.
Together we will destroy the Resistance and the Last Jedi. Don't fight it. You know you can't. I'm immune to the light. No one will stand in our way. No one. You know what I've come for. That weapon is mine. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Is it true? You're just a scavenger. Don't be afraid. I feel it too. You know what I've come for. Together, we will destroy the Resistance and the Last Jedi.
Very cool phrases indeed. Obviously, when this figure was first released, we'd never heard Kylo Ren talk, and the movie hadn't been released in cinemas, so it was hard to piece together some of those phrases. But now, obviously, post Force Awakens, it's really cool to be able to pinpoint some of those phrases, why he says them, where in the movie he says them. Obviously, some of them are tweaked slightly as to not to reveal spoilers. My favourite, for example, has to be the "I've been waiting for this day for a long time" phrase, which obviously, once pieced into the film, becomes really ominous and, you know, for obvious reasons, quite a moving line. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier in the review, there are 3 modes to this one. There's on, off and Try Me. So if we switch the button to on mode, which gives us a full run through of some of the sound effects, again, some of those phrases are exactly the same.
Together, we will destroy the Resistance and the Last Jedi. Don't fight it. You know you can't. I'm immune to the light.
You know, some of the phrases aren't really that diverse in the different modes. The main variation in sound comes in the lightsaber. Once again, if you press the button on the bicep, this does ignite the lightsaber. And this time around we just get sort of one constant sound, the constant humming of the lightsaber in full on mode. In Try Me you get the battle action sounds, in on mode you just have the consistent hum, which is really cool. Again, it's nice to be able to hear some variations on the sound, but again, as I mentioned, some of the phrases are, in fact all of the phrases as far as I'm aware, are exactly the same in both Try Me and on mode, so no real variation there.
No one will stand in our way. No one. You know what I've come for.
Again, really cool to be able to piece in some of those phrases from the film. And again, just a fantastic toy. Really cool. Again, for the price, I really can't complain about this guy. Value for money is definitely apparent. Not only in terms of the lights and sounds, but the sheer size of the figure. And the detail as well is very cool. I absolutely love the look of Kylo Ren's helmet on this figure. You get a real nice appreciation of some of the detail in this one. I'll just lower the figure a little bit just to give you a better look at that. Very cool indeed. The only downside to this one, the only negative aspect of it in my opinion at least, is the fact that the speaker for the lights and sounds, or the sounds at least, is visible on the chest, but it's not a major issue. You know, it's a little bit difficult to place speakers in figures like this without making it obvious. So it's reasonably well hidden. It would just have been nice if it was located on the side or something like that, just so it wasn't quite as blaring there on the chest. But other than that, a great figure. Again, detail, sculpt, articulation is even good, and lights and sounds as well. What more could you ask for in a toy, which again, I really want to stress, this is a fantastic toy. If you are a kid or a big kid like me, you are going to have so much fun with this figure, and I highly recommend you add it to your collection. As always, there's a link down below in the video description which will take you to the Disney Store website where you can purchase this guy online, or alternatively head up to your local Disney Store and pick this one up in person. Let me tell you, this is a really fun collectible, and again, highly recommended. So once more, a huge thanks goes out to the Disney Store for hooking us up with this product to review, and I'll be back with many more Force Awakens products for you very soon. Going to be taking a look at some Hasbro Black Series 6-inch figures, some more Armour Up figures as well, and some basic Build-A-Weapon figures from Hasbro too. So there's plenty to look forward to here on the channel, and I hope you'll stay tuned for all of those reviews. Until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.